Okay, in this lesson, we want to go over the features that are part of this component. So once you go to components and you click on the CM coupon listing, then you want to click where it says options. This is going to show the different options that you can configure and change it to whatever you want it to be. All right, so the first part here is the general settings. This is the logo. This is where the logos are going to be stored for the merchants, and this is the merchant section folder. And then you have your, of course, you have the notify admin before a new merchant. You have the date format. So if you want to change it, you click on whatever format that you want. So this is different options here. Okay, then you go to the bottom here, notify admin of new, submitted coupons. Now, once again, these are different, ways you can configure this. And my job here is I want to give just a rundown of all the different things that are, that are part of this component, so that for you, you can choose to enable or disable things that you think you need, or things you don't think you need. So you go over to, or another thing here, real quick. So you have your auto activate merchant. Now, do you want this to enable? What that means is that every time that a merchant creates an account, they're automatically going to be active. So you don't have to activate anyone. Now, that's okay, but I wouldn't really recommend this, that you leave that to you enable this just yet. Because there are times when you have a lot of spammers and all those wackos that are just out there to, post a bunch of nonsense. So if you leave this to be enabled, anyone can just create an account and it's going to automatically be, activated. And if you go on your site, sometimes people post some, some crazy things there. So you want to make sure that I would recommend that you leave that at disabled so that you can improve all new submissions. So you have the coupon type here. And the supported types, you have the coupon code, printable code, activation link, and the sale link. So this here, you can only select the one that you want from this list here. And this is what is going to be displayed on the front end. And then you can choose the layout. You have the non-responsive, you have the responsive. So I'm going to choose this responsive, which is the bootstrap. Responsive just meaning that it's going to automatically adjust based on the size of the screen. Okay, so we have the reason here. You can go back to the order. How do you want this to be displayed? Do you want it to be most recent coupons to show up first? You want the oldest coupons, so you can change that. And don't worry about this jQuery stuff right now. What column do you want here? 1 or 2? The vote. You can scroll through and see how you want the voting to work. Who can vote? Do you want guests to be able to vote? Users to be able to vote? And voting, this is something, another thing too, is that you want to create a site where, based on the type of, site that you want to run, but you want to, just don't make it so easy for just anyone to just vote, just make their voice be heard. You want people that, have, that really want to vote, because there are times when you have anyone just come in and vote. They don't really care. There's no real validity or quality for the vote. So if you change this here to just registered users, then only those who have an account on the site can be able to vote. And then also who can comment. I would not recommend that you leave this as guest. You want to change this to registered. So that way only registered users are going to be able to vote. And then the submission page. Who can access the submission page? So I'm going to change that to the registered. What about the return page? You want to leave that to home. The CAPTCHA, do you want people to be able to put in a CAPTCHA? You can enable that or disable it. And then you want to have the printable coupons. You can change the image width, the download, the modal. For the sharing buttons here, do you want it to be displayed? So I'm just going to leave this as the default settings. For the pagination, the limit of coupons that you want to show per page. Do you want the table headings to show? So all this is just different ways that you can be able to, configure things how you want it to be. And the default access, this is very important. The default access for this, if this is a site where the general public can just come and get access to this, then you want to make sure that you leave this to the public. Now, if this is like a private site where only certain people have access to it, and you don't want the general public, anyone can just come on there and see those deals, then or those coupons, then you can make sure you set this to registered users. So when you set this to registered, only the people that have registered, you can create a login page for them, and then you email them the login. Only those who have registered can be able to access it. There's a company that have a similar system like this where you have to be a member first in order for you to access, the inventory. So this is something that you can set here. People would have to create an account before they can, do that. And then, of course, here you have the permissions. Since this is just an introductory course, I don't want to get into too much details with this. But with permissions here, you can be able to set what each group can or cannot do, what they can see and what they cannot see. So that's what this here is about. But you don't really need to touch that. So once again, just go through the whole thing here and change the settings that you think that you need. And then once you're done, you click on save and close, and we'll move on to the next lesson.